but enough jokes. It's not why I'm here tonight. I'm here to talk to you about an exciting way to lose weight and have a passive income stream. So Herbalife. Georgia, can we lock that door? So Herbalife. No, there are some. The past week or two has been quite eventful emotionally for me. So if I'm up here, there are some things I have to talk about. So I'm going to have to do that thing where the comedian's like, "Time to get real." I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get so close to him. They're human. But no, there are some things I want to talk about, but I'll try to make it funny because I don't want to be one of those comedians who loses sight of the fact that you don't have to be here, and I appreciate it. Like, I hate when someone comes on the stage with that energy, like, I don't know what I'm going to talk about tonight, I'm just trying to figure myself out, figure out who I want to be. You're like, can you be entertaining? So, let me start here. I started taking Adderall 14 years ago. Okay. Now, for those of you not familiar, the generic name for Adderall is just amphetamines. Not methamphetamines, by the way, okay? That's got an extra carbon and 3 hydrogens, so it's completely different. Well, it crosses the blood-brain barrier differently. Look, it's different, but there are some addictive qualities is what I'm getting at. All right, so, anyone take Adderall here? Any Adderall have? All right. One in the back. There we go, 2. You can tell because it's different than asking any other question. If you're like, any single people? They're like, woo! You're like, anyone take Adderall? They're like, yes, right here. Present.
Dries your mouth.
So yeah, I started 14 years ago. I remember I had just started college, and I was depressed, and my grades had gotten bad. So I went to like the school mental health counseling place, and they were like, "Oh, well, you should take Adderall." And I was like, "I don't know, doctor. I mean, I've made it this far without it. Like, do you really think I need it?" And she was like, "Well, John, a lot of people don't realize that they need it until they start taking it." And looking back, she was really just describing addiction. Like standing here, I don't feel like I need heroin, but I bet if I did it for a few weeks, I'd be like, it turns out I need it. Yeah. Anyway, so it turns out I needed it. And I had never run out. So it's been 10 days. I don't want to say I haven't had any. I don't want to lie to you and break this palpable bond that we've got going here. But I've barely had any for 10 days, okay, which is a big thing for me. But there's some depression that comes with that, of course. Is that a joke? It started because I ran out, which I had never let happen before. And I just, partially because I've been seeing the same doctor for like 7 years. And he's good about getting me the refills. Sometimes I miss my appointment. He still makes sure I don't run out of the medication. But I couldn't get in touch with his office. And then I ran out. I subsequently got a refill from a different doctor, but I'm weaning off it. So dealing with that, and then I found out just a few days ago that the reason I had so much trouble getting in touch with my therapist is because he had committed suicide. It's 100% true. So, I'm depressed from the come down as it is, and then I find out the man tasked with showing me how to be happy has killed himself. So my 2020 really hit the ground running. Unlike when my therapist hit the ground. And so he would have been okay with that. We used to joke about suicide a lot. Which, looking back, maybe a cry for help. But I wondered why he started paying me. No, that's silly. That's a joke, but it is true. But there's good things going on in my life too. Tonight, this is my first show I've produced right here, Best Medicine. Thank you so much for coming. Georgie didn't actually say this, but I'm also I'll be in the semifinals of the U.S. Comedy Contest on February 3rd. So things are starting to happen, It's been said of all the hot young comics on the scene, I am the oldest. So. But yeah, 2020, it started so great, and I was like, this is going to be my year. It's going to be John's year. But, with my therapist being so depressed he killed himself, and all the adorable koala bears burning alive. Kind of hope it's not John's year, because that makes John sound like a real piece of shit. But no, yeah, it's been tough. He was, in addition to just getting me the drugs, I cared about the guy. I knew him for the better part of a decade. You share a lot with your therapist. He shared a lot with me. I felt close to him. I got you, Georgie! Fuck, man! So we shared a lot with each other. Enough so that, I hadn't seen him since November, but if I had seen him recently, I would have invited him to be here tonight. And like a lot of my friends, he wouldn't have been here, but at least I would have known he had a good excuse, All right, you guys have been awesome. My name is John Lohnes. Thank you so much.